The secret to making people crave your attention. Have you ever noticed how some people effortlessly command attention without even trying? It's not their looks, it's not their wealth, it's something much deeper. It's their psychology, their mindset, the way they make others crave their presence. Think about it. When was the last time you truly captivated someone? When people sought your attention instead of the other way around. If you feel like you're constantly chasing approval, always trying to get noticed, always being the one who initiates, you're playing the wrong game. But here's the truth. Attention isn't something you beg for. It's something you command. And in the next 30 days, if you follow these strategies, you will completely transform the way people see you. You won't be the one craving attention anymore. Others will crave yours. This is not about tricks. It's not about manipulation. It's about rewiring your mind to become the kind of person people are drawn to, without you having to say a word. Let's begin. Why attention follows those who control themselves. History's most captivating figures weren't the loudest or the wealthiest. They were the ones who mastered control, not just over others, but over themselves. Take Seneca, exiled from Rome, stripped of power, yet he didn't chase validation or fight for attention. Instead, he refined his mind, strengthened his presence, and when he returned, he wasn't just another man. He was the most sought-after advisor of his time. The lesson. People crave those who don't seek approval. If you're too available, you lose value. If you're ready to shift the way people perceive you, hit like and share this video. But knowing this isn't enough. How do you train your mind to command attention effortlessly? That's where the 30-day strategy comes in. First, let's talk about the scarcity effect. Why making yourself less available instantly increases your value. 6 psychological strategies to make people crave your attention. Over the next 30 days, you'll be implementing 6 key psychological tactics to shift the way people perceive you. Each strategy is designed to make you naturally command attention, without chasing it. Let's start with the first rule, the scarcity effect. 1. The scarcity effect. Make your attention a reward. Why scarcity creates value. The value of anything is directly linked to its availability. The more accessible something is, the less people desire it. This is why luxury brands limit supply, why exclusive clubs have waitlists, and why people want what they can't have. Now, think about how this applies to your presence. If you're always available, always replying instantly, always trying to please others, you become predictable. And what's predictable is forgettable. People crave what feels exclusive. They respect what isn't freely given. The moment your time and attention become a luxury, people start valuing them more. How to apply this in 7 days. In the first week of this transformation, you need to rewire how people interact with you. 1. Stop reacting instantly. Delay your responses, whether it's to texts, calls, or invitations. Not out of disrespect, but to subtly communicate that your time is valuable. Limit your availability. If you're always saying yes to every invitation, start saying no more often. The key is to make people notice your absence and appreciate your presence. Speak less, observe more. When you do engage, be intentional. Let silence work in your favor. People will lean in to hear what you have to say instead of taking your words for granted. The Napoleon Bonaparte principle. Napoleon mastered this tactic effortlessly. He never rushed to respond to letters. Instead, he let them accumulate for days. Why? Because he knew that most problems resolve themselves without his involvement. The same applies to you. The moment you stop over-engaging, you create an aura of control and confidence. People will start wondering, why aren't they responding immediately? What are they doing? And just like that, you become more intriguing. Now that you understand the power of scarcity, let's move to the second strategy, controlled absence. 2. Controlled absence. Strategic disappearance creates value. Why being less available makes you more desirable? People rarely appreciate what is always there. The more predictable your presence, the less valuable you become. Think about it. When was the last time you truly noticed something until it was gone? Whether it's a person, an opportunity, or even a simple routine, absence creates awareness. When you're always available, people take your presence for granted. But when you strategically disappear, they start to notice your absence and crave your return. This is the psychology behind controlled absence. How to apply this in 7 days. The second week of your transformation is about mastering when to step back so that your presence holds more weight. Reduce digital availability. Limit your social media activity. Stop posting every detail of your life. Instead, become more selective about when and what you share. 2. Decline unnecessary invitations. You don't have to show up to everything. The less frequently people see you, the more impactful your presence becomes when you do appear. 3. When you return, add value. Don't just disappear. Make sure that when you do re-engage, you bring something new to the table. This could be a skill, an insight, or even a shift in your energy. Make them feel like they missed out while you were gone. The Marcus Aurelius Principle. Marcus Aurelius understood the power of measured presence. He spoke only when necessary and chose his words carefully. As a result, when he did speak, people listened. You don't have to be loud or constantly present to be noticed. In fact, the most powerful people are the ones whose words and actions carry weight, precisely because they are rare. So, as you start applying controlled absence, you'll notice something interesting. People will begin reaching out, checking in, wondering why they haven't seen or heard from you. And just like that, your presence becomes something people seek. Now that we've established the power of strategic disappearance, let's move on to the next key. Frame control. Shifting from chasing attention to making others seek yours. 3. Frame control. Stop chasing attention. Let it come to you. Why controlling the frame puts you in power. The most magnetic people aren't the ones chasing attention. They're the ones who make others seek them out. When you try too hard to impress, to entertain, or to win approval, you automatically lower your value in the eyes of others. Why? Because high-value individuals don't seek validation. They create an environment where others are drawn to them. This is called frame control. Instead of adapting yourself to fit a situation, you set the tone. You decide how people engage with you. How to apply this in 7 days. During week 3, your focus is on controlling the energy of every interaction rather than being reactive to it. Speak less, observe more. The more you talk to seek approval, the more you lose control of the conversation. Instead, let others do the talking. People respect those who listen with purpose. 2. Don't rush to fill silences. Awkward silences make people uncomfortable, but if you own them, they become powerful. A composed silence makes others lean in, trying to fill the space, and in doing so, they start playing by your rules. 3. Ask intentional questions. Instead of trying to make people like you, focus on understanding them. When you shift the conversation to their thoughts and motivations, you subtly take control. The Leonardo da Vinci Principle. Leonardo da Vinci never sought attention. He never tried to convince others of his greatness. Instead, His work, his presence, and his controlled mystique made people gravitate toward him. His silence, his reluctance to explain everything, and his refusal to chase recognition only made people want to understand him more. The takeaway? Stop trying to impress. Stop seeking approval. When you hold your frame, when you set the energy in a room, people will naturally be drawn to you. Controlling the frame gives you power, but what happens when someone challenges that power? What if someone tries to shake your confidence, push your buttons, or manipulate your emotions? That's where emotional detachment comes in, your ability to remain unshaken no matter what. 4. Emotional detachment. Master your emotions, master the game. Why emotional control makes you powerful? The person who controls their emotions controls the interaction. If you're quick to react, whether it's anger, excitement, frustration, or anxiety, you become predictable. And what's predictable is easy to manipulate. People are naturally drawn to those who remain composed under pressure. When others expect a reaction, but you stay calm, you shift the power dynamic instantly. This is the essence of emotional detachment, the ability to remain unaffected, to not let external situations dictate your internal state. How to apply this in 7 days? During the 4th week, your goal is to develop unshakable emotional control so that nothing and no one can disrupt your frame. Pause before reacting. Anytime you feel triggered, pause. Take a deep breath. Instead of instantly responding, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? 2. Master the power of silence. When someone tries to provoke you, whether through criticism, manipulation, or pressure, respond with silence. Most people expect an emotional reaction. When you give them nothing, you force them to reveal more about themselves. 3. Detach from external validation. Remind yourself that your worth isn't defined by how others see you. Whether people praise or criticize you, it should not shake your core. The moment you stop seeking approval, you become untouchable. The Stoic principle, Seneca's view on emotional mastery. Seneca once said, "We cannot control the world, but we can control how we respond to it." This is the foundation of Stoicism, the ability to remain steady in the face of chaos, the ability to walk through fire and not be burned by it. The moment you master emotional detachment, you become the person others look to in moments of crisis. While they react, you remain calm. While they seek validation, you stand firm. And that's what makes people crave your presence. Now that you've learned how to stay emotionally unshaken, it's time to move on to the next strategy. Delayed gratification, the art of patience and power. 5th, delayed gratification. Patience creates power. Why resisting immediate rewards makes you more attractive. Those who can control their desires naturally command respect. Think about the most captivating people you've met. Were they impulsive, or were they composed, methodical, and in control? People who delay gratification signal strength. When you show restraint, whether in business, relationships, or decision-making, you communicate that you operate on your own terms. On the other hand, those who chase instant satisfaction appear desperate, easily influenced, and lacking in self-discipline. This is why delayed gratification is a key to building long-term influence. How to apply this in 7 days? This week, your focus is on developing the ability to wait, because the more patient you are, the more control you gain. Pause before responding. Whether it's a message, an invitation, or a request, don't respond immediately. People respect those who take their time to consider their options. 2. Control your impulses. If you feel the urge to instantly react, whether it's to express excitement, frustration, or interest. Hold back. Let people feel your absence before they get your response. 3. Make people work for your attention. If you are too easily accessible, people won't value you. Make them wait, make them wonder, and they will value your presence more. The Warren Buffett Principle. The power of slow decisions. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, never rushes a decision. While others scramble to close deals, Buffett often waits months, even years, before making a move. Why? Because patience always wins. The person who is willing to wait always has the upper hand over the person who is desperate to act. By practicing delayed gratification, you start shifting the power dynamic in your favor. Instead of seeking, you become sought after. Instead of reacting, you become the one who dictates the pace. And that brings us to our final strategy: silence and mystery. Why speaking less makes you more powerful. 6. Silence and mystery. The power of saying less. Why mystery creates attraction. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. When someone reveals too much, whether about their thoughts, emotions, or personal life, they become predictable, and what's predictable is forgettable. Mystery, on the other hand, triggers curiosity. It makes people want to know more, to dig deeper, to seek your attention. This is why those who speak less, reveal less, and remain composed always appear more powerful. How to apply this in 7 days. This week, your goal is to become more intentional with your words and actions. 1. Say less than necessary. In conversations, resist the urge to explain everything. Let people wonder about your thoughts. The less you say, the more impact your words will have. 2. Keep people guessing. When asked personal questions, don't feel obligated to reveal everything. Instead, give just enough to spark curiosity, but not enough to be completely understood. 3. Master the pause. A well-placed silence in a conversation forces others to lean in, pay attention, and anticipate your response. The ability to sit comfortably in silence is a mark of true confidence. The Steve Jobs Principle, the art of controlled mystery. Steve Jobs understood this perfectly. Apple's product launches were legendary not just because of the technology, but because he kept people in suspense. The world never knew exactly what was coming, and that built anticipation, excitement, and a craving for more. The same principle applies to your presence. When you reveal everything too soon, people lose interest. But when you maintain an air of mystery, when people feel like there's more to discover about you, you become magnetic. By mastering silence and mystery, you'll notice a shift. Instead of chasing conversations, you'll become the one others gravitate toward. And now that you've built this psychological foundation, it's time to put everything together. Let's wrap this up and make sure you apply what you've learned to become truly irresistible. Now, let's bring everything together. Over the past 30 days, you've learned how to shift the power dynamic in your favor and make people naturally crave your attention. Let's quickly recap the 6 strategies that will transform the way people perceive you. The scarcity effect. Make your attention a privilege, not a given. The less available you are, the more valuable you become. Controlled absence. Disappear strategically. When you step back, people start to notice your absence and appreciate your presence. Frame control. Stop chasing attention. When you set the tone and control interactions, people are drawn to your energy. Emotional detachment. Control your emotions and you control the game. The less reactive you are, the more powerful you appear. Delayed gratification. Those who resist instant rewards always come out ahead. Learn to wait, and you gain the upper hand. Silence and mystery. Say less, reveal less, and watch as curiosity builds around you. People want to uncover what they can't easily figure out. These principles are not just theories, they are the foundation of influence, respect, and attraction. Right now, you have a choice. Continue as you are, or become the kind of person people can't ignore. Imagine yourself 30 days from now. Are you still chasing attention, or are you the one commanding it? The decision is yours. Start today. And if you want to dive deeper into mastering psychology, influence, and power, watch the next video now. Your transformation starts here.